Now, it's time for the Newsmaker, brought to you by the new 2013 Taurus.
Welcome back to Rome. I'm joined now by the top middleweight contender, Chael Sonnen. You want to make sure you pick up that book. It's called The Voice of Reason, a VIP Path to Enlightenment. It drops tomorrow. He joins me right here in studio. Chael, it's about time you and I did this together in studio. It's good to see you.
I couldn't agree more. It's great to see you, buddy.
All right, so let's talk about what you got coming up. You've got Anderson Silva, but the fight has been moved from Brazil to Vegas. It's on July 7th. What do you think about the change of venue?
Well, you know, look, we don't pick the venue change, and I just as soon fight in Vegas as anywhere. I consider that home for me. I'm from Oregon, but if I could fight in Las Vegas, that'd be my ideal spot. At the same time, if we go to Brazil and we have a chance to set a record, 80,000 people, that would greatly feed my ego, and I would have liked to be part of that, but I'm happy to be in Vegas.
My man, you have a tough enough time getting through any doorway right now. Do you really need more ego?
Well, you know, I tell you, though, there really is something to be said for when you can set those kind of records, and GSP and Jake Shields have the record right now in Toronto. They did 55,000 live people. If I had a chance to walk out in front of 80,000, especially angry Brazilian fans, I didn't want to miss it.
I was going to say, you talk about a hostile environment. 80,000 people who probably want you dead. For instance, when you went back there and you did the presser, what was the reaction like and what were the locals saying to you?
Well, you know, the sport's totally different there. You know, if I want to be well known here, I got to go to a fight. Over there, everybody follows the UFC, and I wasn't ready for that. You know, for example, 15 million Americans watch a playoff game for football here, and everybody watches the playoff games. In there, 80 million people watch the UFC on a regular basis. So it's totally different when you look at those numbers, and I didn't know that until I went in and experienced the mania.
All right, so did you feel threatened at all? Did you feel like you were at risk? What was it like when you were there?
Well, it's hard to say. You know, I was there for 4 hours, and when I came out and I look back, I go, man, I had a great time. But when I was going in there, because of everything I was heard and told, I got security teams, we're flying around on helicopter, we're in armored vehicles. Everyone is telling me in social media that I'm going to be a dead man. I'm not making it out of there. So you've got this in the back of your head. You know, you keep looking at everybody. See the guy? Is this the guy that showed up? Is this the guy that made the promise? But all in all, you know, I was in and out. I got in, I did the conference, and we bailed.
All right. They were like that because you said some things about Anderson Silva and about the folks there. When you call Anderson Silva a fake Brazilian, what do you mean by that?
Well, listen, you know, Anderson Silva is Brazilian when it's convenient, and that's the truth. He's got a $2 million mansion in Beverly Hills, right up the road from here. He goes and claims he's Brazilian when he wants to take a few of their dollars, and then he brings it back to America, and that's the truth. I have a fan club in Brazil. He doesn't. You know, he's a phony. I've been picking a fight with him for years. I've done everything I can do to pick a fight with him. And so what? They got their feelings hurt. What can I do? Because I had a misunderstanding? You know, I make a comment, I didn't know they had computers in Brazil. I didn't know that.
Come on, Chael.
How am I not allowed to know this thing?
You know they have computers in Brazil.
I mean, look, I'm a smart guy, Jim, but I don't know all of these things, and there's actually parts of Brazil where they don't. So it wasn't all that far off of a statement. I didn't know. Good for them.
The statement was they don't have computers in Brazil, or when me and my friends were growing up, we looked at the advances in technology and medicine, but Anderson and his friends are still in the mud playing around.
Yeah, they were playing in the mud. It's very similar. You know, me and my friends that go outside, we talk about technology, innovation, gaming. Him and his friends that go outside, they sit around, they play in the mud. So we're not totally different, but I didn't know that our country had given them the computer yet. I just didn't know that. So I don't think just because I was behind that it was any attempt to take a slap at them.
Man, you did a lot of damage in 4 hours there. Hey, Chael, shoot me straight. I mean, you really feel this way? You really see things like this? Or are you selling tickets and promoting a fight and a brand?
Well, no, I'm absolutely not. I'm not on that side of it. You know, I get asked that promoting question a lot, and I'm not a promoter. You know, Dana White has the license to promote. I don't have a license. I have a fighter's license. I show up with short pants and a mouthpiece. And when the referee says, "Are you ready?" I say, "Yeah." And I say, "Yeah," because I am. You know, and I'm out here picking a fight. But, you know, I'm not
jump there. You had a fight with him. I mean, you're trying to pick a fight with him, but you guys had a fight, and you dominated that fight for about 4.5 rounds, and then out of nowhere he comes with a triangle choke and he wins that fight. How many times have you replayed that in your head?
I am so happy you brought that up for the viewers that may not have seen this because it was a couple years ago. And what had happened was an absolute misunderstanding and misapplication of the rules by me. We're in the 5th and final round. He locks on a submission, and I acknowledge that he has it tight by slapping my hand on his leg.
You tap.
I tapped, right? So what I thought is you go to the cards. I win 4 rounds. He wins that round. Apparently, if you tap, it ends the entire contest, which I was not ever made privy to. So now that
Isn't that what a tap is? You tap and you're done?
Apparently it is. And
Come on. You don't know what it means to tap?
Well, I do now. But at that time...
But you didn't before then?
I gotta plead ignorance on this, Jim. And had anybody told me that tapping would cost me the entire bout and not just the round...
Chael, that's the craziest thing since the noise you were running to me on my radio show. You didn't know what it meant to tap out.
Well, I do now. All I can tell you, because it's very hard to look back, but what I can tell you now is that if you tap, it will signal a surrender of the entire bout.
Right. And you didn't know that then. You're like, hey, I'm good. Let's just go to the cards.
Let's just go to the cards. I got 4. You got 1.
Chael.
Give me the belt.
I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but you don't expect me to believe that, right?
I was hoping you would.
I'm not buying it. No one's buying that. I mean, so you know, he won that fight. You dominated the fight. You dominated him from start to finish, and he pulls this miraculous move. I mean, does that not deserve a tip of the hat? Tip of the hat to the guy who won the fight.
You know, I got to tell you, I'm not going to give it to him. I think you bring up a fair point. I can't completely turn a blind eye to what you're saying, but I'm not going to give it to him.
Why not?
Because I don't like him, and because I'm going to fight him, and because I'm in the fight business. You know, and I'm not in this to be his friend or get along, and he's ducked and dodged, and he's done all of these things.
I'm not looking for you guys to hug it out, but just an acknowledgement that, hey, you got me. You won the fight.
You won the round.
You won the fight.
You won the round.
You won the fight, though, right?
That's what they said. When it was all said and done,
Have you convinced yourself that you didn't win, that you didn't lose that fight?
I thought it was 4-1.
All right, well, I know you don't believe that. What's going to happen when you guys fight again?
What's going to happen when we fight again? Listen, it's going to be a fight. You know, this is a sport, and it's of a competitive nature 9 out of 10 times. Very rarely 2 guys go out there to fight. We're going to fight. I don't like him. He doesn't like me.
How'd it get so personal?
You know, I'm not completely sure. You know, I really don't know where things went awry with him. But, you know, this is where we're at. There's a way we can settle this. In the People's Forum, in the Octagon, on July 7th, and only on pay-per-view.
And, Chael, you're an author. You got a book, too, so good luck with that. Good to spend time with you, and I know we'll do it again soon.
My pleasure.